Top countries where Muslim population will increase the most by 2050. Number 1. United States. In the United States, where Islam is practiced by less than 1% of the population, the Muslim population will grow and surpass Jews as the second largest religious community. In Pew Research survey from 2014, which aimed to describe how Americans perceive religious groups, Islam followers, together with atheists, were rated the most negatively on the scale from 0 to 100, where 0 stands for the coldest, the most negative feeling, and 100 for the warmest, the most positive one. Muslims' average rating was 40. Number 2. Canada, increased 218%. 3 of Canada's largest religious groups, Christians, Muslims, and the unaffiliated, will all grow over the next 40 years. Despite an increase of 1 million Christians over the next 3 decades, Christians will account for a smaller share of the total population in 2050 than they did in 2010. 6 years ago, Christians made up 69% of the country's population. By 2050, that figure will have dropped to 60%. Muslims and the unaffiliated will grow at a faster rate than Christians in the future. In 2010, the Muslim community comprised 2.1% of the total population. In 40 years, their population will have increased by 218% to 226 million. The greatest increase was seen among all religious groups. Number 3. New Zealand, increased 220%. In 2010, the Muslim community in New Zealand was the 4th largest after Christians, unaffiliated, and Hindus. The religious landscape of the country will change over the next 30 years. People without religion will outnumber Christians and form a religious majority. The Hindu population will also grow, but the Muslim population will grow the most. In 2050, there will be 160,000 Muslims, a 220% increase. Muslims will also be the youngest religious group, with a median age of 28 and the highest fertility rate. Number 4. Portugal, increased 266%. There were 30,000 Muslims in Portugal in 2010, accounting for less than 1% of the population. According to projections, the population will reach 110,000 by 2050, accounting for 1.3% of all residents. One of the most significant changes in religious distribution in Portugal will be a 23.5% decrease in Christian population. Despite the decline, Christianity will continue to be the most popular religion, with 7.5 million adherents. Number 5. Ireland, increased 300%. The largest religious majority in Ireland is made up of followers of Islam, where the number of Muslims is projected to climb the most by 2050. Approximately 50,000 Muslims make up 1% of the population as of right now. In other words, they will make up 3% of all citizens by 2050, when the number of Muslims reaches 200,000. Christians will become more numerous during the same time, but they will make up 83.5% fewer people than an atheist, down from 92%. Number 6. Spain, increased 302%. Spain has the largest Muslim population among the European countries listed. In 2010, there were 980,000 Muslims, but in the next 40 years, that number will increase by 302%, reaching 3.94 million. In percentage terms, the Christian population will fall from 36.24 million to 34.1 million, or from 78.6% to 65.2% of the total population. The number of non-religious people, who currently make up the second largest religious group with 8.7 million members, will increase to 13.85 million. Number 7. Belarus and the Czech Republic, increased 900%. There are currently 20,000 Muslims in Belarus, with the group expected to grow to 200,000 by 2050. They will account for 2.4% of all residents, while the number of Muslims in the Czech Republic will rise from 10,000 to 100,000, and while the number of Christians will decline in the future, their share of the total population will remain unchanged. People without religion, on the other hand, constitute the dominant religious group. In the Czech Republic, there are 8.2 million unaffiliated people, accounting for 76.4% of all residents. Their population will decrease, but their share of the total population will increase, reaching 78.9% by 2050.